This whole ocean really am very cool. I'm very cool. For years, Deadliest Catch captivated millions across the globe, drawing audiences deep into the treacherous and thrilling world of Alaskan crab fishing. Among the steel giants of the Bering Sea Fleet, one vessel held a particularly special place in the hearts of fans. The F.E. Cornelia Marie, more than just a boat. It was a floating legacy forged by the relentless determination of Captain Phil Harris, a tough yet deeply beloved figure whose raw humanity shone through the screen. His gruff exterior, gritty wisdom, and fierce love for his sons turned him into a cult hero. When Phil passed away unexpectedly in 2010, it wasn't just a loss to his family. It was a loss to an entire community of viewers who felt like they had known him personally. His death marked the end of an era, but it also ignited hope as his sons Josh and Jake Harris vowed to carry forward the legacy of their father and the vessel that defined him. In the seasons that followed, Josh Harris in particular became the emotional center of the narrative. Viewers watched him mature on camera from a carefree young deckhand into a serious captain in training. He was rough around the edges, but his heart seemed to be in the right place. He took the wheel of the Cornelia Marie, and with it the burden of living up to the legend of Captain Phil. For a time it seemed he was succeeding. The boat remained on the show, made returns after short absences, and Josh's role grew. He even fronted Deadliest Catch Bloodline, a spin-off series focused on fishing in Hawaii, suggesting that Discovery had big plans for his long-term involvement. But then, without warning, everything unraveled, and the Cornelia Marie vanished from both the fleet and the public eye. In August 2022, a deeply unsettling revelation emerged that would forever tarnish Josh's image and dismantled the carefully preserved Harris legacy. A 1998 court document surfaced online, drawing attention to a dark secret buried for over 2 decades. The details were disturbing. As a teenager, Josh Harris had allegedly committed a criminal act of such gravity that it shook even the most dedicated fans. Though the case had remained relatively unknown to the public for years, possibly due to his age at the time and the sealed nature of juvenile records, the document's sudden appearance online exposed everything. Social media lit up with outrage, confusion, and disbelief. Comment threads turned sour. People demanded accountability. Within days, Discovery Channel quietly began removing episodes featuring the Cornelia Marie, Deadliest Catch. Bloodline was abruptly pulled from its streaming platforms. The silence from the network spoke volumes. For many fans, it felt like betrayal. The boat they had come to love, the one they associated with strength, redemption, and legacy, was gone. And not because of a storm, an engine failure, or the end of a quota. It disappeared because of something far more devastating. The revelation that a person they had come to admire had committed an unforgivable act, and that this truth had been hidden in plain sight for over 24 years. And yet, within this tragic arc lies a larger human story, one that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about legacy, redemption, the cost of fame, and the weight of generational trauma. What happens when the foundation someone builds their future on turns out to be fractured? What if the very narrative you use to inspire others is quietly rotting from within? These are questions that stretch beyond reality TV and touch the deepest parts of the human experience. Captain Phil in his time wasn't just a rugged fisherman. He was also a man with demons, substance use, health issues, and tumultuous relationships. But what made him a fan favorite was his honesty about his imperfections. He never pretended to be perfect. He simply showed up as himself, battling through storms, both literal and emotional. His sons, particularly Josh, inherited not just his name and boat, but also the heavy shadow of his flaws. For a time, audiences believed that watching Josh grow on camera, trying, failing, improving, was a story of redemption. It was easy to root for him, but perhaps the full truth was never shown on TV. It raises a difficult but important reflection. Can we separate the art from the artist? Can we still admire the Cornelia Marie, its history, battles, and legacy, without condoning the actions of those who steered it? The answer is complex. For some, the boat will always represent the heart of Deadliest Catch, an iron survivor of the Bering Sea. For others, the pain of betrayal will override the nostalgia. What remains undeniable is that truth has consequences, even delayed ones. Discovery's decision to erase the Cornelia Marie from its archives was swift and silent. No official press release, no public statement. The episodes vanished like a crab pot lost in a storm. The network, likely fearing backlash and brand damage, acted decisively. This silent erasure may have been an attempt to contain the damage, but it left fans feeling hollow. Many longtime viewers turned to forums, YouTube, and Reddit threads, in search of answers. Some even hoping it was a misunderstanding. But the document's contents were clear. The shock was real, and the aftermath felt like the death of something sacred. But here's where the story takes a deeper, more introspective turn beyond anger, beyond grief, into the realm of moral accountability and the nature of second chances. In today's world, we are quick to cancel and condemn, often justifiably so. But we must also ask, What is the purpose of outrage if not to spark change? What happens after the storm passes? Do we rebuild? Do we allow for healing, or do we let the ruins fester? Josh Harris's actions as a teenager were without question horrifying, but the silence around them for 24 years raises questions not just about him, but about the system that let it go unrest. Did producers know? Did executives choose to look the other way in favor of ratings? Was the public misled? These questions may never be answered, but they force us to examine the culture we've created. One where entertainment often overshadows ethics, where likability can mask dark realities, and where media companies are selective with their morals. Depending on viewership numbers, at the same time, we must also consider the victims, not just of the original crime, but of the fallout. Fans who felt manipulated, crew members who built their careers on a boat that's now tainted, and even Josh's own family who may now live under the weight of choices they didn't make. It's a sobering reminder that truth, no matter how long buried, always finds its way to the surface. Like a rogue wave, it crashes in when least expected, reshaping everything in its path. And yet, within this collapse lies a strange bittersweet opportunity, the chance to reset our collective moral compass, to ask better questions about the people we admire, to demand accountability, not just from individuals, but from the systems that promote them. And most of all, to remember that legacy isn't just about what we leave behind, it's about what we choose to carry forward. The Cornelia Marie may be gone from our screens, but its story is far from over. In many ways, it now serves as a cautionary tale, a symbol of how quickly fame can falter. When truth surfaces, it reminds us that even legends are vulnerable, that no amount of nostalgia can protect us from consequences, and that the real storms in life often happen off-camera. But perhaps the greatest lesson is this, that real redemption is not about appearances or second chances on TV. It's about reckoning with the past, no matter how painful. It's about owning every part of our story, the triumphs and the traumas, and allowing them to coexist. Only then can we truly begin again. Subscribe to Whispers Dust for more emotional stories behind music legends and the feuds that shaped rock history. Tap the bell to never miss a beat.